Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This is Katannya Alven from the New Forest in the UK. United Kingdom. That's the potential. Okay. Here is a very interesting video, an interview done by a channel called Steel Truth, and she's interviewing Steel McCONNELL. This is extremely interesting. We'll play a little bit and then we'll go to a particular section that's very important, in fact two. Now, Field McCONNELL goes into what he was doing.
And welcome back to Steel Truth. I am joined with Field McCONNELL, and if you have not seen this man on his broadcast, Able Danger, you are in a treat tonight because we are playing the field with Mr. McCONNELL. We're going to be covering we're going to be continuing the coverage on child trafficking that we started earlier this evening with Patrick Howley. Field studied at the United States Naval Academy. He is a veteran in the military as well as an airline pilot. He was with the United States Air Force. Very incredible, storied history. Too much to go into in this short amount of time that we have. But he's also behind the notion that the British Crown agents are behind all of these false flag terrorist attacks, child stealing to order and control Britain and the United States governments since the early 1800s. Field, it is a pleasure to have you here on Steel Truth. How are you?
And that is something I've been studying, yes, and it's sadly true.
Well, it's my pleasure and it's my mandate, and I've got a totally lucid, open mind. Ask me any question once I take my red hat off.
All right. Love it. Thank you so much, sir. Well, it's an honor to have you on. I want to talk about the Children's Crusade because this is a very important organization, and as we noted on the previous segment with Patrick Howley, the administration now is looking for whistleblowers to come forward and start talking about what they know in the Child Protective Services and foster care system, because there have been allegations for years, and now we're starting to get real stories. I've been reporting on them, as have many reporters, about various victims and the tragedy and the horror show known as CPS, an organization that was really funded by the Clintons and has made a cottage industry of tearing apart families and getting a lot of people rich in the meantime and destroying lives of these beautiful young souls. So tell me about the Children's Crusade. And from which direction you are taking. In other words, who is helping get you guys off the ground and giving you the direction of which you're pursuing to help and support families that have been basically abused by the foster care system?
President Trump and his equally engaged wife, Melania.
Okay. What is the direction that you're getting from the administration at the Children's Crusade that is really motivating you, and where are all the aspects in this country that you are focused right now?
Donald Trump, not his wife, but Donald Trump at his desk at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue at 9 o'clock Eastern this Wednesday, October 2nd, which was my 70th birthday. There were three names. There was actually one logo. This logo, or Children's Crusade, which we can add later. But the three names were Field McCONNELL, Children's Crusade, and someone you've recently talked to, who is one of my 9 clients, who they represent, the mothers represent 11 children. Donald Trump has blessed my content, my heart, and my mind.
Amazing. Amazing. So when you say he's got 11 families that he's been made aware of, what exactly does he know? And do you have any idea in what he intends to do? Because you've been chartered, your organization, to really ferret out the corruption in CPS and foster care and help really protect and reassemble these families that have been destroyed by the likes of these corrupt family courts. Can you expand on any of that for me?
Yes, and I can add content. You talked about CPS. Have you ever heard of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children?
Of course, they used to be on the back of milk cartons all the time when I was growing up.
Well, my sister started that. Did you know that?
Absolutely did not know that. That's incredible. Okay, so this is a family crusade. It's not just the Children's Crusade. This is a family crusade by the McConnells to go out and save children. Fantastic.
Yes, but what she's completely missing the point is that, well, maybe I'll backtrack on that. So I want to now go to a further point. So I'm picking it up here at point 1024.
The Children's Crusade.
No. My wife is involved in the Children's Crusade.
I thought you said you had a sister that was also involved.
Did I say that? No, I didn't say that. And
Okay.
If I did, let me correct myself, and you can edit what you need.
Okay.
My wife, Denise Irene Clark McConnell, that's my wife. She's English. Okay. President Trump has a wife from the former USSR.
Right.
Yeah. Well, my wife is from England. This is a global effort on my part, and our president, whether we like him or not, everyone in America is being blessed by the service of Donald John Trump.
I agree.
I agree. And my wife and I are running the global effort to protect children. And I can already tell everyone in the world right now, right out of my mouth, the Children's Crusade, my name and the name you know, were on Trump's desk from 9 to 9:30 on my 70th birthday, which was the 2nd of October, Wednesday of this recent week.
Mm-hmm.
He's already responded. He responded that day to something that wasn't reported until approximately 24 hours. But are you aware that the United States Marine Corps Reserve has been sort of activated?
I have heard that, but I don't have details on it. Perhaps you can fill us in.
It's for domestic tranquility.
Interesting. Are they anticipating civil unrest with news that's forthcoming?
The news is forthcoming right now. The people that have trafficked children are going to be rounded up, and they are going to be given free one-way air transportation to Gitmo, which is Guantanamo, a naval air station and the naval base. And General Joseph F. Dunford stood down or retired
From the Joint Chiefs, right?
from the chief. Yeah. Okay, do you know what day he stepped down? And this is not a test.
I know it's not a test. I don't know. I don't recall off the top of my head. It was recently.
It was Sunday last week.
Right.
Sunday the 29th.
Okay. I knew it was recently, but I didn't know what day or date. It was the last 3 weeks or so. Go ahead.
You're accurate. It was Sunday the 29th. His new position is overseeing the tribunals in Gitmo, and he's physically there right now, according to my knowledge.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, and so what you are alluding to is that the tribunals in Gitmo are going to be focused right now on child trafficking. Is it just domestic, or are we talking about OCONUS outside the country?
I'm choosing my words carefully just because my knowledge level is not 100%, and some of the stuff I know I really shouldn't be talking because I'd be announcing what they're going to do.
Right.
Just speaking of the United States, our 50 states and territories, if anybody's been child trafficking, they are going to be arrested. My choice of words is for a purpose. Arrested only means stopped.
Right.
Anybody who's ever trafficked children, they're going to be stopped. Then they're going to be adjudicated in a military tribunal, and they will be given the punishment for trafficked children. And the definition of trafficking children has been changed very recently. If you kidnap a child, you're trafficking children.
Right.
Why?
No, I said correct. I said I agree. You're kidnapping children. You're trafficking kids. Exactly. Let me ask you something. Is the change in punishment then, is it capital?
Yes.
It's capital punishment. Okay. That's pretty incredible. That is really incredible. Is this tied back to the executive order of December 21st, 2017 when it...
Now, I want to bring to people's attention this word that she used, and I think I'm not criticizing her out of order, but the words we use show our thinking, and to say that that's incredible, that somebody will get the capital punishment, which is death, for pedophilia, etc., shows that actually the depth of understanding of what that does to a child has not really sunk in to their consciousness. And I'm not criticizing it, because I think that that is so that is how many people think. They can't believe that, oh, somebody is a paedophile and a child is abused in that way, and for that the punishment is the death sentence. That's big. That's big to take on board, because really what that says is that we don't value our children. And now with Donald Trump and Melania Trump and the other wonderful people who he has in his teams, actually now are seeing the value of the children, and giving the appropriate punishment for children who are abused and damaged in that way. That's the difference. It's huge. It's huge, the difference. And the public will start to see, if they think that that sentence is incredible. No, it's not. Not with Donald Trump at the helm. It's rightful.
Talks about human rights violations and asset forfeiture.
Yes.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit, tell us a little bit more about that, about what's happening now with the Marines being activated, where you're claiming now that people are going to be rounded up and sent to Gitmo, where they'll be facing military tribunals, and how that ties back into that executive order of December 21st, 2017.
Everything you just said is very, very possible. The way I'm going to phrase this is the Marine Reserves, and I'm eligible to be called up, even though I'm 70. So I could be down at Guantanamo in a couple hours. I do not anticipate that. I can do a lot more damage with my mouth and my knowledge than 1,000 Marines with rifles. But you said December of 17 and an executive order. Anyone around the world that has done certain things, they will be captured wherever they are at. But let's go back.
Anyone around the world. And actually very interesting listening to the Queen's speech yesterday, that there, and I don't recall the words that were used, but actually it indicated the cooperation of being able to bring people from other countries back to justice, or see that they receive justice by the country that they're actually from.
Wherever they're at, they can't hide. George Soros, I'm throwing that name out there because he's probably one of the worst of the visible people behind the 13 satanic bloodlines.
Are there going to be, George Soros is a name that gets, brought up a lot in these circumstances. Are there any other high-profile names that you think the American public are either going to be cheering for or are going to have a real problem with? In other words, i.e. the reason we might call up Marines and activate them is to, basically ensure tranquility and address any civil unrest. Are there any other high-profile names that come to mind with respect to child trafficking?
Well, my sister, Christine Marcy.
Okay, and what does she do, Christine Marcy?
She exudes evil, but she was a 30-year bureaucrat. She went to George Washington University. Then my parents could detect something wrong with my sister, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
We were living in Hawaii, where I was going to Obama's high school, Punahou, Punahou.
I'm familiar.
When I was there, I was registered as Field McCONNELL, Protestant, United States. When Obama was at Punahou, he's 12 years behind me, and he's actually 1,000 light years behind me when it comes to this. I don't use a teleprompter. Yeah, there's one right up his, whatever you want, nostrils. When he was there, he was registered as Barry Soetoro, Soetoro, Indonesian Muslim.
Right.
Well, one of us is living, maybe both of us are, It's been reported
One of us is living, or maybe both of us are.
that on September 29th, Obama was executed by a Marine Corps firing squad.
Now, I read that maybe 2 days after, anyway, on Operation Disclosure by Super Shadow. And I decided not to put it out, and I was also very busy. I've heard it on Information.
Now, that's the same day that Dunford got to Gitmo. And Dunford's responsibility at Gitmo is to oversee all the activities of the military tribunals. And I'll just tell you, there's three things, but it's really two. Here's the issues: 9/11 and pedophilia. And 9/11 was treason. And 18 U.S. Code 2382 sets the penalty for treason. And this is really good. It says, anyone knowing of it's called misprision of treason. Anyone knowing of a treason committed past, present, ongoing, or future is compelled by 18 U.S. Code 2382 to report it, very specific, report it to one governor or one chief judge or justice of any one state.
Now, you need to, this is a long video and I'll use her complete video, but do listen on. There is a section at the very end which is completely different to the news we've just heard. It's not shocking news. It would have been shocking news in Bush's time or Clinton's time, but it's not shocking in President Trump's time because he's focused on the right justice, the right justice. Now, this is very close to the end. It's round about 37 going into 38.
I'm not afraid of anything. I'm afraid of falling 1 ounce short of God's expectation for me to serve him for his creation, his creatures, and his world. I'm like John the Baptist. I'm telling you what's...
Now, listen to this, because from the shocking, what we might call shocking, but the expected news about Obama, to this.
Coming, and what's coming is going to be good for the United States of America. It's going to be good for the world, and it's going to happen before the Marine Corps birthday, because when I celebrate a birthday like I did on October 2nd, you know, I get cake, I get presents, and it's my great present to have this opportunity to play the part of John the Baptist and tell you Jesus is coming. But until before Jesus Christ comes, the Marines are already deployed.
Right, and also the birthday of the Marines is on the 10th of November. So the Marines are doing an amazing clean-up job. But also there is a gift for the world, a gift for the United States, and a gift for the world, the people of the world. Very exciting news. Just realize that we've got the GCR, Global Currency Reset, the revaluation of certain currencies. The world is going on to the gold standard. Countries have already got the gold. It's very close. And the quantum financial system is already up and running. So the swamp is being cleaned out and people are in the process of being wealthed. We're very close to that actual full happening. This is Katannya Alven saying God bless, and I'll put the video in the description box. Excellent interview, good for her for doing it, and see you on another video. Please look in the description box. There is a wonderful opportunity of doing a masterclass. It's called Live Success Now, and then also a Q&A that follows up each of the segments on each week. Wonderful. You can join, but you don't have long. God bless. Katannya, Alven signing out. Bye-bye.